Good morning, everyone. This is Darnell Weathersby once again, welcoming you to the opportunity to join in with the Lead One movement as we celebrate a week from today our 7-year anniversary as a ministry, as an organization, as a company. God has been good to us, God has blessed us, and this year we want to do things a little bit different. So I hope you're listening. About a year ago, the Lord opened up an opportunity for my beautiful wife and I, Charnel, to partner with Compassion International to help break the cycle of poverty at a global, international level. For the last 6 years, God had been faithfully using us to touch the lives of people locally and nationally to equip them and empower them to break the cycle of poverty, of lack of education, of divorce, of domestic violence, of so many other generational curses. But for myself, breaking the cycle of poverty has always been close to my heart. So when the opportunity came to partner with Compassion International and reach and empower and help bring up young men and young women from across the world to help provide for them the resources necessary and the education necessary and the home environment necessary so that they can grow up and be powerful men and women of God, of course we answered yes. And then about a year ago, I took the personal challenge to sponsor a child. I have the blessing of investing and pouring to a young man from Ethiopia. He's 11 years old every month. And it's my honor and my privilege to communicate to him through letters and to just interact with him and understand how appreciative he is for the contributions that my household has given to him. And the blessing of it all is that my whole family is involved in the process. My children are able to keep up to date with how this young man is doing. They've written him letters. My wife is actively involved in making sure that this young man is doing well. So I'm excited to invite you listening right now to the opportunity to join us on this endeavor. So for the next 7 days, between today, July 25th, and Friday at midnight, July 31st, we're inviting you to prayerfully consider to change the life of a young man in Ethiopia. I believe that God has placed on my heart that for the next 7 days, at least 7 young men will be sponsored from Ethiopia. So I want us to narrow in on our focus. I'm not trying to save the whole world, but I believe in my heart and I believe in my spirit that just like God has used me to transform this young man's life, there are 7 other young men in Ethiopia who have been praying that you will be obedient to the call. And for $38 a month, you will make the intentional investment that will give them the resources they need, education that they need, partnering with local churches and organizations in that area, food that they need. And when you bless them, you bless their whole household. The young man that I invest in, that I sponsor, is being raised by a single mother. And Lord knows I know that pain. I know that struggle. And when I was selecting the young man, I intentionally wanted to begin pouring into someone who I could connect with, who I understood his story, I understood his journey, and now I'm blessed to help him navigate that journey successfully, breaking the cycle of absentee fatherhood, breaking that generational curse. It will end with him just like it's ended with me. But it's not about me. It's about the young men in Ethiopia, 7 of them to be exact. So join us this week. We're launching our Breaking the Cycle of Poverty campaign as we partner with Compassion International. I sponsor a young man in Ethiopia. My wife will be sharing later on today in a separate video about a young lady that she sponsors and how you can join her in those efforts. So right now, you're hearing from Team Ethiopia. Join Team Ethiopia as we break the cycle of poverty in Ethiopia. One young man at a time, one household at a time, one community at a time. God is moving and he wants to move in and through you. So if you've been blessed by the Lead One movement, if you've been blessed by the different resources and the different things we've been able to offer the world over the last 7 years, and you've been potentially asking yourself, how can I get involved? How can I contribute? How can I touch the life of someone? And in the midst of a pandemic, it's hard to actually get out and do. But here's an opportunity. Through a couple of clicks of a button, you can go to www.compassion/lead1. And today, you can prayerfully select a young man whose life you will dramatically transform for the rest of his life, for generations to come. You can do that today. And on next Saturday, August 1st, as we celebrate our 7-year anniversary, our prayer is to go live and communicate the results of this campaign. Whether it's one young man or whether it's 100 young men, we don't know what God is going to do, but we know that God is moving. And I pray that you will consider him using you as the vessel, using your resources to impact the lives of young men in Ethiopia. So if you want to join Team Ethiopia, go to www.compassion/lead1 and let God have his way. And if you might be in a position where you say, you know what, I don't have the resources to bless any young man in Ethiopia in that way right now, but I'll share this video. I will make sure that those who I know within my sphere of influence who may be in a position to bless these young men, I will make sure they get this information. If you can do that for me, I will be so honored. I will be so blessed. Because once again, it's not about me. It's not about Charnel. It's not about Lead One. It's about impacting our sphere of influence. And I've dedicated my life to this work. And I ask that you join us. I ask that you prayerfully consider joining Team Ethiopia, joining the Lead One movement, and sponsoring a child. But not just any child, a young man from Ethiopia. So thank you for taking time to watch this video. Share this video. God is moving. Not just locally, not just nationally, but globally. And Lead One is just humbled and excited to be part of what God is doing. So consider joining us. And also make sure you're available August 1st at noon as we communicate the results of what God has done through this campaign, through this initiative, through this anniversary celebration. So be blessed. We look forward to hearing from you soon. God is moving. Be encouraged.